A few years ago, while working as a financial advisor, I had a client who contacted me and told me that he would like to retire 3 years earlier than originally planned. I appreciated his ambition and his transparency, but I didn't think that his new goal was realistic. After reviewing his portfolio, we implemented a few strategies that have proven to be effective. The first is to maximize your returns. The second is to minimize your expenses. And the third is to appropriately manage your risk. As a result of this experience, we now call this the Triple M approach. At Linden Peak Advisors, we use the Triple M approach to help all of our clients achieve their financial goals. Saving for retirement can be the challenge of a lifetime, and there's ample evidence that America is in a retirement savings crisis. So why is saving so hard? According to the standard economic model, humans always behave in a way that maximizes their utility. So when it comes to saving for retirement, the standard economic formula is fairly straightforward. Save more money today and tomorrow and the day after tomorrow, and thus you will be maximizing your retirement savings. This formula breaks down, however, when spending today is also a way of maximizing your utility by increasing your current enjoyment. Since saving is so hard, we like to make it easy for you. First of all, let's talk about some common retirement savings pitfalls. And even though these pitfalls are almost everywhere, we may be simply unaware of these biases. The first pitfall is representative bias. Representative bias occurs when we assume that two similar investments are in fact the same investment. Bounded rationality. This is the second pitfall. Bounded rationality occurs when investors make the best choice out of a few available options rather than the best choice out of all available options. The third pitfall is the herd effect. The herd effect occurs when one or a small group of prominent investors makes a move, and as a result, the rest of the market follows. Traditional methods for investment selection have involved: first, selecting funds based on the assumption that funds with similar objectives are essentially a comparison of two equivalent funds. Second, selecting funds based on a sampling of available options rather than all available options. And third, selecting funds based on performance or trends rather than based on risk tolerance and the overall effect on a strategic allocation. We propose that by doing things differently, we can achieve better outcomes. The first is maximizing your returns. As a result of representative bias, it's easy for investors to believe that two funds with the same stated objective are essentially the same fund. However, by comparing a fund's stated objective with its stated benchmark, it can be easy to spot the discrepancy. Even though a fund may be performing well compared to its stated objective, if the benchmark doesn't match the objective, you may be missing out on returns. In order to maximize your returns, we seek funds whose benchmark matches the fund's stated objective and whose returns closely match or exceed its appropriately stated benchmark. Second is minimizing your expenses. It's common for investors to make decisions based on a few available options rather than all available options. At Linden Peak Advisors, we take the guesswork out of investing. By exploring all available options rather than a few available options, we select funds that minimize your expenses over the long term, thus saving you money and helping you keep and make more money in the long run. Third is managing your risk. At Linden Peak Advisors, we focus on your long-term strategic allocation. In a world that loves to keep blowing investment bubbles, which drift with the wind in every direction, we stay the course. Due to the herd effect, investing can be tantalizing when speculation is high. However, we take a consistent approach to managing risk that factors in your willingness, ability, and capability to take on risk over the long term. We make tactical moves at times of opportunity to maximize value, but ensure that those moves always fit within your strategic allocation, thus properly managing your risk. When it comes to saving and investing for the future, it is often easier to simply keep doing what we are already doing. We call this status quo bias, and this is one bias that when it comes to investing, we can use to our advantage. With status quo bias in mind, we implement for you an automatic savings plan. This plan takes a percentage of your surplus savings and automatically contributes that percentage to a priority savings plan available to you, which can include an employer-sponsored retirement plan, a traditional or Roth IRA, or any other type of plan that maximizes your tax-deferred or tax-free growth. By implementing the Triple M approach, from the start we set you up for long-term success. And with status quo bias in mind, we make saving for retirement convenient and easy for you. At Linden Peak Advisors, we understand that saving for retirement is not just about making the most in contributions, but it's also about making the most of your contributions. Due to common biases, it can be easy to fall prey to the pitfalls of representative bias, bounded rationality, and the herd effect when it comes to making investment decisions. However, we help you stay the course by reducing or eliminating these biases from the investment selection process. At Linden Peak Advisors, we know that the standard economic model may describe perfectly rational behavior, but there's so much more to human behavior than simply this model. As a result, we use our knowledge of both rational and irrational tendencies to implement strategies that lead to better savings outcomes. By reducing or eliminating common pitfalls and maximizing the tendency to leave things the way they are, we can make the most of your retirement savings. And ultimately, we believe that when our goals are aligned with your goals, we can accomplish more together. Let's start planning today for a better financial tomorrow. So come join us and let's see what your money can do for you.